Let's go ahead and take a look at the first four balls. There's one, here's the two, here's the three, and there's the four. Now let's look at the shot on the one ball that we need to get on the two to get the right position on the three to make it easy to get on the four. We're just rolling up a little bit, straight top. This is almost straight in. It's pretty much straight in. So we need an angle on the two ball. It's not absolutely necessary. We could get straight in on the two and hit a stop shot, but then you're going to have a really long shot on the three, and it's going to be really difficult to get from the three to the four. So, yeah, you really want an angle, and most often on most balls you do want an angle because it opens up the options of how much control you have over whitey. So, okay, I stayed up a little bit high on the two ball. Now we have to go down to the top rail. So let's take a look at the next four balls. There's the two ball, here's the three, here's the four, and here's the five. Now let's take a look at the actual shot, and you can see we're going down to the bottom rail, or the top rail. And the natural angle coming off that top rail is going to be the opposite angle of what the cue ball came off the two into that rail. It's the same angle, it's just the opposite angles, like looking at a mirror. So we don't want to just shoot center ball here. We're going to have to manipulate this cue ball and distort that angle and kill that angle off the top rail. And the reason you don't want to just use center English and use the natural angles is because you're either going to get stuck behind the 9 ball, the 8 ball, or you're going to go too long on that 3 ball, and you're going to have a pretty bad shot on the 3 unless you get absolutely perfect. There's way more margin of error if we put top right on this cue ball and bend it back to the left-hand side of the table to stay out of traffic. So pay attention to the unnatural angle coming off that top rail and bending back in line for a shot on the left-hand side of the table on that 3 ball. And that's the right-hand English here, doing what I asked Whitey to do. It's that counterclockwise spin, grabbing that rail, and Whitey taking control. Y'all take care of Whitey, and she'll take care of y'all. Don't forget that. Look alright? Is that okay to get from the 3 to the 4? I think it is. Let's take a look at the 3, 4, 5, and 6 here. There's the 3. And here's the 4. There's the 5. You can't really see it. And there's the 6. Alright, so we got that in mind. What are we doing with the 3 to the 4 here? Let's take a look at the pattern, and even though I'm in the way, I think I can give you a good idea of what I'm doing here. I'm putting bottom left on this, and that bottom will draw the cue ball back just a hair, just enough to bounce off that 3 and create an angle going into that rail, and you're looking at about an inch or an inch and a half. And that angle, the opposite of that angle, is coming right back up against that right-hand side rail a little bit below that 4 ball. And anyone in the right mind is going to say, look, don't do it like that. Don't aim for the rail. Just come up short of the rail on the same shot and shoot it a little bit later. And they're right. And I never claimed to be in my right mind, so I'm going for it. Yeah, you're risking that scratch here doing it. You don't have much room. And if you shoot it a little bit too hard or put a little bit too much left on this, that side pocket is going to swallow you like a monster. But, you know, I'm a dare. Well, see, that's kind of stupid. I'm making videos here. I have to be responsible. I'm going for it. I don't recommend you go for it. I'm aiming for that rail because I like using the rail. It gives me more control over what's happening with Whitey. Comprende? Let's look at the shots. Alright, let's take a look at the 4, 5, 6, and 7. This cut on the 4 ball is certainly not easy. It takes a really good eye, and making things even more difficult is we have to put top left on it to hold the cue ball and push it down table in line with that 5 ball. If you don't use any English and just hit it center ball, you're coming straight back into that 9 ball there. And that wouldn't be good, and we'd have a terrible shot on the 5, so we have to stay down table with top left. The problem now is I get straight in on the 5, but before we get to that, let's take a look at the 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there's the 5, of course, and there's the 6, 7, and 8 ball. And going back to this 5 ball, now you can see why you always want an angle. Almost always. You don't want an angle on the 9 ball. You want a straight in shot 100% of the time on the 9 ball. But the other balls, most often you want some kind of angle so you can control that cue ball much better. In this position, I can only go forward, which would result in a scratch, or I can come backward. But then there's traffic in the way, particularly that 8 ball. And or I can just stop the ball. So that's my 3 choices, and I choose to stop the ball and take a long shot on the 6 ball. If I had some kind of angle, I could have got much closer to the 6 ball. But it's really not about the distance. It's about the angle that you get on the next object ball. And because I was stuck straight in on that 5 ball and I had to shoot a stop shot, now I have to shoot another stop shot on this 6 ball. This is the last pattern that you have to brainstorm, and if you do it right and you don't get out of line, you're pretty much done with the thinking. We're just waiting for your slow-ass body to catch up with your brain. So here's the 6, here's the 7, here's the 8, and here's the 9. Let's take a look at how I want to shoot this 6 ball, and there is a very, very slight angle here. It's not exactly straight in. So I'm shooting a stun shot. So the cue ball, because of the angle, the cue ball is liable to drift a little bit to the right after this hit, which makes matters even worse than they had to be if I could have shot a stop shot. But I mean, either way you look at it, I'm going to be left a difficult shot on the 7 to get back on the 8 and the right position on the 8 to get to the 9. I'm going to have to shoot my way out of an impeding train wreck here that started with getting straight in on the 5 ball. You can see I'm putting a little bit of bottom on this, and this cue ball will be spinning backward all the way up until right about the side pocket there, right before it gets to the 6 ball. And then it's going to start just sliding across the table before it starts rolling in forward motion. And if you shoot this to where while it's sliding and hit it right on the object ball, that's a stop shot. And because of a little bit of an angle here, we have a stun shot. And you can see this isn't going to be easy. You guys have any suggestions here? I'm trying to get back on the 8 ball to shoot it in that left-hand side pocket. And I know that's a little bit crazy. I'm putting bottom right on here to draw past off that left-hand rail and on to that right-hand rail, but past the pocket down table, past that side pocket. And that should bounce me out for a decent angle on the 8. The problem is I'm playing against the line, and well, you'll see a very close disaster coming up right here. And that wouldn't be real funny if I didn't get accidental shape on the 8 ball there. I got lucky as hell there. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. That guy back there in the orange shirt, he definitely knows it. That is the famous Gary Phillips. He's helping Paul fix that side pocket on that old Brunswick table there. And that's my next match coming up as soon as I get warmed up here. And he's a regular match for me. He's a very good player. I have to be totally there to beat him. He gives me a real run for my money. And if I lay down on him, he's going to beat me. And if he lays down on me, I'm going to beat him. And that's how we're kind of like sparring partners. We really keep each other all in the game, and you could hear a pin drop when we're playing. It's just, it's just the pool balls clicking away, So yeah, it's a real bloodbath, but you guys would enjoy watching. I'm gonna get Gary to get on video. I've never asked him to be on video with me. And let's go ahead and match up and let the cameras roll and let you guys see all the action. Definitely, I'm going to ask him. I don't know if he's going to go for it. A lot of people are camera shy and just do not want to be on camera at all. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted about that. As for this 8-ball shot, for some reason, I'm putting a whole lot of left on it, and I really stroked it, and when it hit that side rail, it just really hooked up. Here's what I was trying to do. But I just put just a little too much. I just hit it too good. And really, when it hit that side rail there on the left-hand side, it just grabbed real good for whatever reason. And it came back and hit the 9 and kind of got me all whacked out. But, I'm still laughing about it. It's good for you guys to sit there and watch my mistakes. I just wish I wasn't making mistakes right before I'm playing Gary back here. It's not good for your confidence, and that's why I'm trying to keep this light right here. I'm trying to keep my confidence up. And anyway, let's go ahead and shut up and shoot this 8-ball. Hey. Why the hell is he putting left-hand English on this? Hey man, that's a good question. Normally I wouldn't. Lately, because these balls are so dirty and the table's so dirty, I've been throwing this ball a little bit, and if that object ball, which is a 9-ball in this case, just barely nicks that long rail down there by the corner, you're gonna rattle this ball. So the balls have been skidding, they've been throwing too much, they've been doing all kinds of crazy shit, and that's a result of the balls being dirty and the table itself being dirty. So I'm just making sure that I'm not going to throw this ball into the long rail and just keeping it to the right side of the pocket so it doesn't rattle. That's basically it. Usually you're putting English on a ball to get position to use the rails and all that other stuff. And it's pretty much the sole purpose you're putting English on it. Because every now and then you want to use English to hold balls, throw balls, and you're actually you're imposing that English onto the object ball. And this is a rare case, and I'm basically just being careful here with it. Well, there you go. Another award-winning YouTube video produced by John Disque. It wasn't my best game in the world, but that's okay. I have no idea what I'm going to title this. No clue. I think I kind of overused the English, so maybe I'll name it that, but it was really about a whole lot of stuff. I guess I'll figure it out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's roll the bean footage.